Get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Well, I'm just a country girl. I'm here in this messed up world, but it can be such a better place when I'm sitting here looking at your face. Now get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Well, today is the last day of 2024, and I'm gonna tell you something now. I'm gonna give it so much more. There's so much to give in life. There's no reason for us to fight. We're gonna have a beautiful day. You better listen to what I say. Hello, everybody. Okay, Jay, just popping in on the live stream. It is the last day of 2024, and I am here today to tell you that you made it. You made it 100% of the time. You absolutely got through 2024. We've got one last day to go before it's 2025. And you know what, y'all? After all these years of having this channel, if you'd have asked me when I was a little girl that I would be on what people would call a social media platform, I absolutely would have prepared better. But all I can do is give of myself, and I think I've tried the best I can. I've went this way, that way, up ways, down ways, done everything I know how to be as genuine and sincere as I possibly could be, whatever subject matter that we've talked about in the past. All I know is this: I could have never done it without all of you. Hello, Pamela Dahmer. Happy New Year to you too. So I don't know if there'll be any mods on here, but that's okay. I can ignore it. This is the last day of 2025. And I wanted to talk to y'all kind of just right off the cuff, y'all. There's nothing better than when you speak about things that you're thinking and feeling right off the cuff, because folks, make no mistake, there's a reason it comes out of our mouths. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes speaking off the cuff can get you in big trouble. Oh, KJ has shit in her own shoe so many times. Said the wrong things at the wrong time or didn't know what to say. Hello, Leanne Forsberg, Elba Lopez, NF Mom. Hello, y'all. NF Mom says, Happy New Year from Wyoming. 4 here this morning. Cross stitch, coffee on my day off. Well, that sounds absolutely wonderful. I don't know how to do all that, NF Mom. There are so many things that this old-ass 53-year-old woman has not learned in life. But one thing I will tell y'all, and I'll share with you, my mother could make quilts. She wasn't a quilt master, but in my view, my mother made beautiful quilts. I have them all over the house. Maybe one day old KJ will sit down and learn how to do a quilt. That would be awesome. Hello, Dogs Day, JS. How are you? Janelle Murphy, Happy New Year to you. So, y'all, speaking off the cup, you know, what it really comes down to is I was going to get with y'all this evening. You know, little party, and I will. But I wanted to get with y'all today because, you know, we go year after year after year, you know, and the New Year's comes and goes, and the question's always, did this year fly by, or did it just go so slow? And so many things, good and bad, may have happened in your 2024. Well, OKJ has had all kinds of wonderful things happen in 2024 for me, but I've also had my own problems, you know. Y'all think OKJ ain't got problems. I think y'all figured it out. Some of y'all that stick to that community wall, OKJ starts posting crazy stuff, and you're like, wonder why she did this or that. It's always to keep myself moving forward with my own perception, and it's also to, I guess, in an attempt to have people think, what in the hell? What the heck's going on here? Hello, Donna Dono. Hello, Tina Reddington. Think about, y'all, the New Year's. The New Year's is upon us. And so I've been thinking about this, and I'll confess to y'all, last night when I went to bed, I was laying there, and I don't know about any of y'all that pray, but I started to pray to God and everything, and it was so clear. Any other time, I'll start my prayer at night, and then something will invade my thoughts, like, did you forget to turn the coffee maker off? Or did you, what about this person who said something about you? And it just invades, and I can't get a clear shot into my worship, in my prayer of God. But last night, I spent, I know, a good 30 minutes just speaking to my God and expressing my fears, my hopes, my faith, all of those things. And even trying to keep myself from questioning my faith. And so that was interesting. And just to wrap it around my own head that I'm actually speaking to my God. It's a hard thing to do. I don't ever feel like I'm good enough. It isn't because of low self-esteem or anything. I just know where I've been. And I know I've been forgiven of things, but I don't feel like I am good enough. I feel like I'm just not good enough. But then I have to remind myself what Jesus done for me. But I'm not going into all of that. I just want y'all to know that's where I started. I started thinking about, this past year because, as many of y'all know, Wayne got home from surgery. We brought a new family member home, Opie. We had to have midnight spade, and you got the Christmas holidays and everything, Thanksgiving, it all just kind of builds up at the end of the year. And I didn't have time to really think about what 2024 meant to me. Have you thought about it? Have you thought about what has gone on in your life this year? Was there good things that happened to you? Were there bad things? And folks, I want to make it clear to you. A lot of people will say, well, you should only focus on the positive. And that's a good piece of advice, but you also need to look at the things that you got through, whether it was your health problems, whether it was some kind of family matter, or anything, whether it was bills, whatever it was, that just you thought, that's it, I've had it, I can't handle this shit anymore, I just don't know what's going on. And so I thought, well, okay, I'm going to start out my new year, and y'all, this is just me, and you're going to have to decide for yourself what it is you want to do with yourself. If you just want to keep on keeping on, however you do it, I respect that, I honor that. But the first thing that I thought about when it came to starting in the 2025 season is, where am I? Where am I in my grief process? Losing my mother, losing extended family members because of the death of my mother, the fact that I've had relationships go south, the things that have hurt me, the feelings of rejection, just my feelings really hurt, y'all. I'm super sensitive. And I thought, okay, where am I in the grief process? Because I know there's different stages and all this and that. And I'm not going to lay that all out to y'all, but for the most part, I will say that at least I've gotten a handle on the fact that it's not about, okay, I've accepted that my mother's never going to be here anymore. So I can't be sad anymore. I can't just break down crying when I look over at my mom's picture on the table, or, think about some beautiful moment that I'm never going to get to have with her again. It's been hard on me, and the Rays and others have seen me through so much during the death of my mother. And then I think about my extended family and how 9 times out of 10, there's always something that rears its ugly head about how families treat each other after the death of a loved one. And I confess that, I haven't exactly, been all just whatever, I'm still going to be the way I would want to be loving and all of these things, y'all. I have been absolutely heartbroken. Not only have I lost my mother, but I've got other siblings that I haven't spoken to since her death, basically. And then I've got other siblings that I have spoken and thought I had a relationship with. But the bottom line is if nobody wants to seek me out when I'm actively trying to seek them out to have a relationship with them because they're a brother or a sister or something of that sort, and they don't want to reciprocate, I have to cut that loose. I love my extended family. This isn't about forgiveness. This is about hurt feelings, and I can handle that. I can handle that. I know at my age now that if I hold on to those negative feelings, all it's going to do is bring down the quality of my own life. And that might sound like I'm being selfish, but folks, let me tell you what. Every damn one of us are going to die at some point. And I think we all deserve a little peace of mind. And however you go to get that, or whether you want to continually have to be in that toxic situation in your heart thinking, well, let them damn treat me like a freaking doormat. I know where my heart is. Folks, I will not be a doormat to anyone ever again. I won't have people lie to me if they're not going to come and say, yes, I lied, and I'm sorry, and they don't even have to tell me why they lied, just because I do the same thing. It's not like I'm asking anyone to do something I wouldn't myself do. I cannot have people in my life that are going to lie to me. I'm just getting too old for that shit. I want to be able to trust the people around me. And if that means that I don't have many friends, so be it. I've got to do what's best for the rest of my days in the quality of my life. Hello, Kathy Mama Bear. Good morning. Sorry about that, Kathy. I hope you've gotten in the mail what OKJ sent you. I haven't heard from you, so I don't know. Canyon Jam says, thanks for being a good example of letting go of the negativity. Well, I'll tell you what, this goes back again, Canyon Jam, and I'm glad you're here, that sometimes that negativity and those terrible things that happen to us or might have happened in 2024, those can be learning lessons. And I've got to really have an awareness. Well, Kathy, I hope he does. Anyway, another thing besides knowing where I'm at in the grief process is that I want to learn more. But here's the ticker. You know, I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, you know what? When I was born into my family, I really did not have a say-so in how they were going to raise me. Okay? That's how I was raised. There's a portion of a human being's life, these are my opinions, where you're raised by your parents or your grandparents or in a foster care system or wherever you were raised, where you're being shaped. And so I look back into my childhood and I don't put the blame on the mistakes today of what happened to me when I was a child. It's over. It's done. I'm old enough now where I can say, you know what? I was a kid. Yes, these whoever's shouldn't have done this, or I shouldn't have been treated like that. And I could sit there and take all that negativity, y'all, and we all get it. It's how we channel it. These are just my views. You might think, okay, Jay, you don't know what the hell you're talking about, but I'm just telling you, and I can put the blame squarely on my childhood. I'm not going to do that. We go through the crime genre, criminal cases, and 9 times out of 10, there's always this thing about they had this shitty-ass childhood and all this and that. And then, of course, someone chirps up with a little truth that says, yes, and so did millions of others, but they didn't grow up to murder people, okay? So, Alpha Fem X-Teen says, your background influences who you are, but you're responsible for who you become. And that is a great way to look at it. And again, y'all, KJ wouldn't have made it this far without all of y'all backing me up and really being there to say what needs to be said that perhaps I just don't know to say. It all goes back to what we talked about for some of y'all from the very beginning. I can't think of everything. So it's up to all of us to help each other out, educate each other, and be there for each other with no judgment or anything like that. That is my goal. It's always been my goal to treat others. We hear it a million freaking times. Treat others as you want to be treated. Well, I'm trying, and I fail, but I still try. Diana H. says, I lost my husband a month ago. Diana, my condolences to you. I forgot. Please forgive me. But if the person hears this, they said they just had a heart attack. I commented back that I hope they got well soon. There's all kinds of life situations going on, y'all. And everyone handles their own life the way they're going to handle it. So if I come across like I'm saying, you should do it this way or you should do it that way, folks, I'm just telling you how I deal with things. It doesn't mean if you was to do the exact same thing that you're going to have success. You have to do what's best for you. And you are the only you're ever going to be. So that's the only person that should be really able to, decide what it is you're going to do with your life. Janelle Murphy says, just lost my sister. I am treasuring relationships more than ever. And that is wonderful, Janelle. In her honor, you lost your sister. And now, instead of just doing what old KJ's done in the past, lay in bed and be depressed that I don't have my mother anymore, I'm getting up out of the bed or I'm getting up off the couch and I'm figuring out something I can do to honor her. I know my mother wouldn't want me to stay in clinical chronic depression. I know she wouldn't. Kathy Mama Bear says, hugs to all that lost loved ones this year and past years. It is never easy. Hello, Norma Guerrera. Kenya Jam is talking to Diane Ace. Oh, sorry, that has to be shocking. Trying to figure out a new way to live. I'm sending you strength, peace, and to press on. Janelle Murphy says, the world still needs us. See that? The outlook is entirely up to you. And sometimes, y'all, KJ will say something, it comes out all positive, but deep in my heart, I'm like, I got to fake it till I make it. And I don't mean be insincere. Sometimes I have to learn for myself to replace those feelings, those sad or depressing or hurtful or angry feelings with something positive until I can believe it. Which brings me to the next thing I'm going to work on in 2024. I'm going to do my damnedest to let go of resentment and anger. It's hard to do being in this crime genre community with all these crazy ass evil people that should have never taken innocent life. I don't know that I could apply that to these characters who do these things. But in terms of my own personal life, y'all, I can be so resentful about things that's happened in the past. And I can still be angry about things that have happened or haven't happened and should have happened. So, I get down to the nitty gritty about resentment and anger, and I say, well, first of all, in the Bible it says, be angry but do not sin. So I have to be very conscientious of that. But resentment is really like anger. And I have to really say, what is holding on to this? Because really, to me, it's more of a really hurt feeling. Like I've had my heart broke or I've been rejected. And I don't like rejection. I don't think anybody does. It's hurtful because in your heart, you want to share yourself with other people. You want to show other people, who you are and everything. But in this day and time, it's so hard to do because you have to guard yourself from all kinds of terrible things that could happen. And people do use you, and people do mistreat you or misunderstand you. But I feel like if, I know what that feels like in terms of resentment, okay? I resent somebody for what they did and they never came back and apologized, right? Example. What is that going to do for me to hold on to that? I'll tell you what it's going to do for me to hold on to resentment. It's going to give me a shitty outlook every day of my life because it's always going to be there hazing things up. Even if I'm not thinking about that resentment, it's still in there. And I've got to do everything I can to get that out of there. And many of the Rays know New Year's Eve, I always burn a bonfire, which maybe I can share that with y'all later on tonight. And I release things that have been inside of me. It's just symbolic. It doesn't mean that it's any kind of, crazy ritual or anything like that. It's just an old country girl's way of letting things go. Another example, this is another thing that I've done in the past. Write down, just quickly, I am so mad at so-and-so for this. Just let it all come out. Then pick up that piece of paper, crumble it up, and throw it in the trash can. I'm not saying it's going to keep you from being resentful or thinking about it again and getting resentful again, but it helps. It has helped me. RDNAC says, I think it's acknowledging and accepting that we're angry and letting it go. Hello, Pez. So yes, I'm gonna look at my grief process, where I'm at. I'm gonna learn more. Y'all, at 53, I can learn so much. I'm gonna let go of resentment and anger, and then what am I gonna do? Instead of really getting so inward, and I do believe in self-care, and I do believe that people should focus on themselves in the good and healthy ways, I'm going to do my best, y'all, to focus on others and helping them. And I've got to spend time every day knowing who I am and self-care. But it shouldn't be 24 hours a day, or whatever. There's got to be time put in there. I look at it like this. If I can pinpoint, and I know I'm a little analytical, but if I can pinpoint, okay, around about how much time am I trying to do some self-care, a little introspection, trying to help myself. For instance, I'm gonna look inside myself to see where I'm at the grief process. If I can just say, well, maybe 2 or 3 hours a day, or even an hour, or even longer, depends on who you are, and there's no right or wrong way in terms of how much time you spend on self-care. Try to do that for someone else. And sometimes it's not about going and volunteering at a homeless shelter or something. Sometimes it's just a kind word at a grocery store. And even if it isn't a kind word, if it's just a smile, if it's just going down the road and you just see somebody pass, we call it hollering at you. You just wave and say hello. Sometimes it's the smallest things that can help other people. And we don't have to know if it's helped them or not. It's our motive behind it, whether it helps them or not. And that helps us in return. I'm going to accept. I am going to accept at some point. I'm not saying I'm going to 100% accept it in the year 2025, but I am going to do my damnedest as a goal to accept that people got away with hurting me. They got away with it. And, I can assign whatever motive. They were just plain ass evil people that wanted to hurt me, or it was something that they probably didn't know was going to hurt me, or whatever. I can sit all day and stew on that shit. But it's not going to help me, and it's not going to change a damn thing. I can't control how other people are. And that's a big damn awareness in my life. Because earlier, I think that I tried to control other people because I was so afraid that they were going to hurt me or something bad would happen. Call it paranoia, call it mistrust, call it trauma, because trauma does that. It gets to where the only time you feel a sense of peace is when you're trying to control the people around you because you're so afraid whatever caused the trauma in the past will happen to you again. And so I don't want to get old, y'all. I don't want to get old, but I'm ready for it. And I've got to use what I've been given in my older age to help me along to reach these goals that I might have in my life. These attainable things, not these, things that'll never happen for me. I've got to be realistic. I got to know my limitations. And I've been working on that for several years. I don't know where it developed in me that I could be anything I want. Those saying, here, you can be anything you want to be. You just got to work hard for it. That just ain't so, y'all. There are many people that put 100% of their time and effort towards something and never make it, whatever it is, whether it's being a millionaire, whether it's being a nature scientist, whatever it is. I got to know my limitations at my age. Not only for my goals that I set in my life, but also my health. And I'm not going to go down this whole long laundry list because I guarantee you, y'all all know how to be healthy. I'm not going to do it. But, I'm going to know my limitations. I'm going to look at my health. And I'm going to accept my aging as a beautiful thing that has happened. It's part of life. I mean, could y'all imagine being young forever here on this earth? We would die from all that energy. There's a reason that our bodies grow the way they do. And again, nobody's going to live forever. So what am I going to do? I guess I'm going to go get me a mini skirt and a little slinky top. I'm going to start, trying to be young again, and I'm going to wear makeup. I'm going to dye my hair. I'm going to do all these things to stay as young as I can do. I'm going to have my behaviors like that. I'm going to do stupid shit like jump out of airplanes or whatever the hell, when I know good and damn well when I hit the ground, my ass is in trouble because I have torn an ACL in my right leg, and, hell, ain't no tellings how much I'll fall apart. I'm looking at my age now and saying, you know what? I could have been dead when I was born, or not born at all. Or I could have died in my teen years. How many of you, now you stop and think about this. How many of you look back over your younger years and say, damn, the things that I did, I should have died. But you didn't, did you? And you got through 2024, 100%. You did it. You're going into 2025. And there's no doubt that you have so much to give. Kathy says, I am not thrilled to be 65, but I sure don't want to go through the young years again. We all say it. We all say, well, I'd like to be young again, but I want to know what I know now. You can't have it both ways, can you? I feel like God gifts us with experience and wisdom as we get older to replace that youth of the first time that we saw this or did that or this or that, and the youth of our bodies where we could run up and down stairs without a damn problem. Folks, I feel it every damn time I run up them stairs now. I do. But anyway, I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose to see the positives, but that doesn't mean I'm going to live with blinders on, y'all. I'm going to do the best if there's something that's going on. For instance, just this extreme. Wake up one morning and the freaking side of the house has been caved in and all this and that through a storm or whatever. The positive is Wayne and I are still alive. And it's just a house, right? Just little things can make a difference, and has. I'm going to contemplate life more, and I'm going to contemplate. This is just for me. I'm not saying that you should, but for me, I'm going to contemplate my life. I'm going to look to the past, not as a direction to go into the future, but look to the past to say, okay, I've got a 53-year-old brain right now. And I've got more experience and wisdom. And back then when I done that stupid shit, did I learn anything from it at the time? I can turn them wheels and figure that out. And if I haven't, then I can add to my 53-year-old experience and wisdom by saying, back then I didn't know what I could have learned from that. But now I can look at it and add that to the mosaic of my life. And I believe it's a miracle. And I believe that people can do that. People can figure it out, if they, in fact, want to do it for the right reasons. Artie and AC says, OMG, I can't run at all anymore and can barely walk upstairs. Folks, for everything that hasn't stayed the same or you cannot do anymore, I guarantee you, in my faith, God has replaced that with something else that's just as valuable and just as important. Nan's Life 7 says, I start every morning when my feet hit the floor by saying, thank you, Lord, and keep my head and heart grateful throughout each day. And that's wonderful routine there, Nan's Life 7. I wish I could say I do that. Sometimes the first thing I'll think about when I first wake up is how in the hell did I get down the hallway to the coffee maker? Because I don't remember going there. You know, it's just, you know, and sometimes I think when I do get aware, it's like, well, you know, Wayne's not here, he's at work or whatever. You know, I'm here in the house by myself or with the dog, the cats, whatever. Oh, Artie and AC, when you say you're only 53, you're still young. Well, I'll tell you what, y'all. Who in the heck defines, and I love you, Artie and AC, but who defines what young is? I mean, yeah, there's a dictionary word, young, and, you know, and it gives you out the definition and everything. This young at heart, young in spirit, you know, this mind, body, spirit thing that I personally believe in. Tina Reddington says, for over 70 years, I went through life with the pedal to the metal. The rush was great, but the sudden stops almost killed me many, many times. Lord, y'all, can y'all imagine that anybody on any social media channel could say something that so many of us can relate to? Alpha Fem X-Teen says, I'm 40 and I am old. Alpha Fem X-Teen, if I really stopped to think about what it was like for me at 40, you know, I guess I could do a whole live stream on, you know, when I was 15, when I was 40. 40's young. 40 is 13 years. Almost 14, because I'll be 54 in April. That's 13, 14 years less than what I've had to live. And you know, let's just get for real. It's tough as hell to live life sometimes. And things happen. But ultimately, I just know it, that each of y'all carry this light inside of you that says, thank you, thank you, thank you for the life that I have. It might not be the best. It might have its ups and downs. But if somebody wants to invite over here at OKJ's house someone who's got the perfect life, I'll never open the damn door, because nobody has it. And everybody wants to do their life the way they want to do it, and that's the way it should be. Another thing that I feel like I've tried to demonstrate throughout all this time on this social media platform is I will not, y'all. I've been this way for years, but specifically since I got on social media, I will not let the evil of this world cloud my living. I'm not going to do it. You know, I used to be a firm believer that whenever we went on, you know, whether it was a newspaper back years ago, whether it was television, radio, and now social media, you see all the headlines of all these people getting murdered and robbed and all these terrible, terrible things. I used to believe that this was the news media's way of keeping us all in fear. Okay? Yes, the things they were reporting were real, but why were they bringing it to us? Were they really trying to warn us? Were they really trying to inform us? So this is the way I look at it. There are terrible, awful, just unspeakable things going on in this world. But there are also beautiful things going on in this world that I feel like God is in command of. And perhaps those things don't get shown enough. In fact, I know that to be true. I thought to myself, well, what if the news media only gave us good news? Well, folks, for some reason we've all been conditioned on this channel, perhaps. Not that I've conditioned anyone. What I'm saying, I'm trying to use it as an example. Anytime that I've talked about this just terrible, awful stuff, it seems like more people want to listen to that than they want to hear about the good news or the good things. And you know what I'm talking about. It seems that people are, I don't know if it's a fascination or if it's just a way to shield yourself, or, you know, by saying, I've got to know what that is. I've got to look at it. What they did was evil. I got to look at the warning signs. I've got to protect my family. I got to protect myself. But then again, every damn time, y'all, it never fails. They say, the neighbors or people that knew these murders or whatever, I can't believe this happened in our neighborhood. I can't believe this person did this. You just don't know. And so, because I don't know, and because I have to lean into my faith in order to get through this life, I refuse to stay fearful, because perfect love does cast out fear, which means to me that as long as I'm loving others and that I can accept love from others and that I make it a point to have an awareness about that, that is a form of shield for me. Doesn't mean it's going to work all the time, but it sure does give OKJ peace of mind. There is a lot of evil in this world, and I refuse to live in a state of mind where it's like, you know, why should I even go out here and do anything? Because someone's liable to murder my ass or rob me, you know, or be so fearful every time my sons, who are adults, go out here in the world, you know, just stay fearful all the time. Y'all, I'm just refused to do it. It doesn't do anything. If it did something, oh yeah, it does do one thing. It gives you a shitty life. It gives you a miserable life. That's what it gives you. It doesn't give you anything else. This does not mean that I'm saying, oh, you're never supposed to really think about how there could be somebody out here that could hurt you or anything. No. What I'm saying is I'm not going to hold myself back from doing responsible things, not irresponsible. Oh, I'm going to go in the middle of this great big city that's known for all this crime, and I'm going to walk down an alleyway because I refuse to let evil take over my life, y'all. No, I'm talking about just your everyday living. I've had people say, well, I want to go to this concert, but I'm so afraid because it's got so many people there that somebody will open fire on them or this or that, y'all. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. We have to be responsible. We have to be cautious. We have to be vigilant. But to be vigilant about something isn't to live in fear. And I pray to all the people that I love, and you know I love you, that you will not let fear overtake you. And that includes fear of trying new things because you're older and you're afraid you might, you know, this or that. Folks, I think you know the common sense stuff. I don't think Tina Reddington's going to go out here and decide that she's going to go skateboarding on one of them big slope things. I don't think Tina Reddington's going to do that. I don't think other people are going to do things that could possibly cause them physical injury. And this spills over into, you know, I'm going to jump feet first into an emotional or sexual relationship with somebody. And not know before they do it, hey, this could turn out bad. I could get used. Something bad could happen. They could end up being a serial killer, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. And if Mom says the Lord did not give us the spirit of fear, Janelle Murphy says, you live in fear, fear wins. Hello, Lauren Watt. How are you? Ready for the new year? Tina Reddington, I could see you on a skateboard with a great big bottle of peanut butter whiskey just going down through there. I think that'd be funny. Canyon Jan says, I used to think when these bad things happen to people, oh, they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now I know they were exactly where they were supposed to be. Well, Canyon Jam, everyone has their own perceptions through their own eyes. And OKJ's a firm believer in that everyone, whether they believe in God or not, has an appointed time. Period. End of sentence. How that is defined is entirely up to God. I cannot begin to know how God does what he does. He's just too powerful, omnipotent, perfect, holy, all those things that even if I looked up the words in the dictionary, I couldn't wrap around this little pea brain of mine, this sinful nature that I have. Artie and AC says, my son is a skateboard freak. Well, good. I bet he's got a couple of scraped knees and scars and all that good stuff. Which, by the way, now that you brought that up and it brought me down this road, whatever physical scars you have should be teachable things that bring betterness to your life. And that goes also to emotional scars. Those things can be very, very beautiful. Very beautiful. And finally, y'all, and I will get with y'all later if y'all are around. Right now, it is 10:36 in the morning. OKJ at noon. I always start my bonfire, bring it throughout the day up into the evening. This time around, Opie will be with me. I'll be sure to keep an eye on him. But, yeah, and, you know, I'm going to have my bonfire. I'm going to let go of a lot of things. But finally, channel plans. Y'all know, I think y'all are all brilliant people to the point where I know that y'all could look at 2024 and see that we all, to some degree, if we were seeking it, got justice through understanding. The thing about justice through understanding to me is that it's never ending. That you can always understand. You can always learn about justice. So my channel plans, y'all, did I ever have a schedule? Did I ever stick to one subject? We're still looking toward different areas of the crime genre community. OKJ is absolutely, in my heart of hearts, going to always come out on live stream or videos or shorts for the betterment. Something good will be learned, hopefully. That's my prayer. I want to give of myself. It's not enough and it's not good enough, but I want to because I feel like that every human being on this planet can give of themselves in good ways, in learning ways, through growth, all those different things, through the failures, through the mistakes, through all of the things that we live as in our human lives, whether we live in the United States or around the world. I want y'all to know that this channel is not hanging it up until God says that it needs to be hung up. And it ain't like God's going to go, KJ, it's time to hang it up. I'll know. And I just want all of you to keep in mind that if it wasn't for you, this channel would not even continue on. Just you being here. This is our open channel. This is our little space in life. So at the end of 2024, just know this. We will continue to get justice through understanding. I want to thank the 20 to 30 people that I prayed for when I opened up the channel for sticking by OKJ. And I appreciate all the others that come on here for whatever reason they come on here. They're just as important. But I just want the Rays to know how much I love you and everyone else. I love you as well. No one can ever prove otherwise, because when you speak in truth and you say the truth and you're sincere, it cuts through it all. So, y'all be looking later on tonight. Thank y'all for letting me just share with y'all my thoughts and my feelings on 2024 and what I plan to do in 2025. Y'all know I'm going to fall on my face, but you know what? Sometimes falling on your face makes things better when I pick myself back up. So just know you're loved. Know your life is beautiful, wonderful, even in the midst of the storms. Just remember it. I love you all. See you later on this evening. Y'all might even get a kick out of a few things old KJ's got planned. So with that being said, I love you. Happy New Year's. And keep on looking.